ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם שהחיינו וקיימנו והגיענו לזמן הזה. ברוך אתה אדוני אלוהינו מלך העולם להדליק נר של שבס.
Ishana te Eliana. Ishina sete ila ibato ni maliana miato vakalia shase. Imora I inai tabikinama livetional deva ila liatai lianti sa samana malakopa. Imora I nania ivako deva shonose sivatore li halakomayana niato. Ima ia te sete kiamasho te valiana malo kotere shesi. Kiato mahiva shinasinina varakoliambarose. Ama inarase sofashinote vikiato rashasa anate ileaso. Aliata visa samite vishono umai tereki luhuma hi lashanote vakolesa atita rashi miananiato. Orogode iasa I ahatu uniana a ana tesheke tebese sivoso shi ani tiavalogo sivashna. Imashita yeshnasa sivaso se ina eporianara se kisho. Ima itasa sete ki anariato ki isha senese teriano amakorosha te I inananiata sevitera. Good day, gods and goddesses, guardians of Gaia, beautiful souls, thank you. Illuminators and way showers, thank you. It is in once again divine grace, gratitude, and honor that I, Wendy and Dave, share with you today this new celebration of Goddess Friday. And today we wanted to share with you the inspiration and the introduction to this idea that's been kind of brewing for quite a little bit of a time now. And so we're very excited that all of you are here to join us and watch us. So thank you for being here. There is a link to join us here in the Zoom room. If you guys want to hang out with us, please do. The link to the blog with the link to watch it as well as to join the Zoom room is on my blog post at languagesoflights.com, and you'll find that in the YouTube comments here. So thank you. Please do join us if you'd like to come and join us in the room. And there's details listed in the description here in the video as well as on my blog and on the Facebook post. So please do join us. And there's Dave wanted to read a few things here about the inspiration for Goddess Friday. And I have to say, when I met him, he mentioned it to me and said something like Happy Goddess Friday. And I said, well, what's that about? Thank you. So I wanted to explore this more thoroughly. And it turns out it's an actual celebration of the goddess. And so without further ado, I'll let Dave read a few things and we'll go from there. So please do join us. And thank you all for watching, sharing, and joining us in the YouTube chat.
And I did prepare something, and some of it is information that we got off the internet, which you could all look up on your own, however you want. But what is Goddess Friday and why Goddess Friday? Throughout history and even today, Friday has been dedicated to the goddess. Friday is even named after a goddess. Women, the divine feminine, have set aside Friday to honor the goddess and goddesses. We feel it's time to bring this forward in this now with both the divine masculine and the divine feminine to specifically honor the goddess energies and the goddess energies within us all. What better day than on Friday the 13th to begin this intention? The name Friday comes from the Old English Frigidag, meaning day of Frigg, a result of old convention associating the Germanic Norse goddess Frigg with the Roman goddess Venus. with whom the day is associated in many different cultures. The expected cognate name in Old Norse would be Frigijar Dagr. It may be that Frigg or Frigga and Freya were at one point all one goddess, or at least stemmed from the same one. Frigg is the queen of Asgard, the capital city of the Norse gods. She is a major goddess, and most myths focus on her roles as a wife and mother. Frigg is also said to be prophetic. Like her husband Odin, Frigg sometimes sits in the high seat called Hillejolf, which I can't pronounce. From there, she can look into other worlds. Freya, which is the Old Norse for the lady, has many associations, which include fertility, gold, and death. She rides on a chariot that is driven by two cats. When she's not in her chariot, she's also known to hitch a ride on a boar she owns called Hildisavini. You know him?
I might.
In France, Italy, and Spain, Friday is named after the Roman goddess Venus, Aphrodite in Greek mythology. In Japanese, Friday is Kenyobi, again meaning Venus. In most Indian languages, the word for Friday is Shukravera, named for Shukra, the Sanskrit word for Venus. In Greek, the word for Friday is Paraskiva, meaning to prepare. Like Saturday, the Sabbath, and Sunday, Kyriaki, the day of the Lord, Friday has religious significance, a day of preparation for the Sabbath inherited by the Greek Orthodox culture from Jewish practices. In Hindu, on Fridays, there are celebrations for the goddess Durga and Lakshmi. In Dravidian folk religion, which I think is part of Hindu, special observances are practiced for Mother Goddess on Friday. In Hinduism, Fridays are important for married ladies of Hinduism. They worship God on that day. It's extremely thought-provoking that in so many countries on different continents and thousands of miles away from each other, and in so many different cultures and religions, the word for Friday originates from the same goddess, Venus. And then interestingly for 13, a couple interesting facts. 13 is a Fibonacci number. It's the sixth prime number. 13 is the second star number. And
we're not sure what that means. So we need, so if you guys want to look that up and research it, let us know and tell us, that'd be great.
And there are 13 circles in Metatron's cube.
Which I can't believe I didn't know. So, because we've got Metatron's, whatever, symbolism all over the place here, as well as lots of ankhs. And it just so happens too that today being Friday, we every Friday celebrate Kiddush. As Dave is Jewish, we really have menorah and light them. And so I've been privileged and honored to be a part of this now every Friday. And it's very exciting. And I feel very drawn and touched by it. And there's so many things that we want to share with you guys. It's like, I just don't even know where to start because of all of the threads and all of the synchronicities. And so part of what I wanted to say, first of all, maybe was a little bit about the lighting of the candles, because really it's about the lights, about the light. And so what is it that the blessing represents on Friday as we light?
Well, it blesses the candles to represent the light, and for this purpose, also to light a candle in honor of the goddesses for Goddess Friday. And it also on Friday nights in the Jewish religion, you light candles to usher in the Sabbath.
Exactly. So all of this ties into ancient information, Sanskrit. Today happens to be Friday the 13th. So happy Transformation Day, everybody. If you are new to my channel, one of the things that I do share with many is the sacred circuits symbols that have been brought to us through Daryl Anka, through Daryl, through Bashar. And what we've come to understand with a lot of the symbology and with hieroglyphs and ancient Egypt and Atlantis and Lemuria, all of these things are all connected. And we felt really excited about beginning to share the connections that we start to feel in all of us using relics, artifacts, permission slips, permission to explore our multidimensionality. So many of us have had dreams of each other in all of these other lifetimes. We're connected to the crystal skulls. We talk about symbolism in media, in movies. That's one of the huge things that we want to explore, is all of the synchronicities that we're finding now, even in old movies, that when we watch now later, have a whole new perspective for us, those of us who have begun to explore our extraterrestrial and ancient, the parts of us that have been lie dormant, if you will. We're remembering this ancient wisdom, yet it was always there, always at our disposal. And actually, that's one of the things that has fascinated me so much about meeting Dave and learning about Hebrew and about the blessings and about just the way of life is it's about appreciation and gratitude for absolutely everything, everything. And that's really at the bottom line of it. What this is all about too is appreciation for all that we are, everything that we are, exploring everything that we are. We've been leaving ourselves breadcrumbs for centuries, right? Well, I shouldn't say centuries, but in stories, centuries. We've been leaving ourselves breadcrumbs in television shows for decades, in space exploration, in all of the different religions. There's little pieces of all of this wisdom that is represented in movies, in television. And once we begin to identify and relate to these and into these, because we talked about how even those who write these scripts, they're channeling, they're receiving information from other realms, other frequencies and vibrations, and they're receiving this information and they're creating movies, comics, what else? We explore
books, music, all
everything.
inspired things, video games.
Everything, absolutely everything. So I wanted to see too, I wanted to double check if there's anybody who is wanting to join the room here. I'm just double checking you guys. Okay, good. There's Jessica. Hi, Jessica. How are you? I'm gonna, Jessica's joining the room right now. There you go, darling. So yeah, and you guys, hi, Jessica, welcome. I'm so happy to see you here. Would love to, if you can join in and say hi, that would be great. Our dear friend Jessica, and she's probably one of the most creative little beings I've ever met as far as exploring her multidimensionality, her creativity. And that's part of what all of this is about, you guys, is being creative, allowing the fun, the dressing up, the finding the inner child again, the finding, but we don't take this lightly either. This is a serious kind of thing about really celebrating the God and Goddess within us and bringing the balance of divine, feminine, masculine, and honoring this divine within us all, and the God and the Goddess within us, and the fun within us, the creative within us, the explorative, we have been everything. We've done everything. We've been everywhere. And we need to honor that. I'm excited about honoring that. And through artifacts, and we've been collecting quite a few, as you saw, if you saw in the trailer that Dave did, which was amazing, pictures of all of the things that we've been collecting just in a short amount of time, just in a couple of months. So it's really exciting because I feel such an interesting connection as we start to collect these, and because they represent all parts of us, from everything from gosh, what, Aquaman to Harry Potter to the throne we're sitting in. Oh my gosh, the throne. Even Doctor Who. What else are we celebrating? And Isis, the goddesses, and the gods, the partners, the energy behind those partnerships, the information that we know is stored in crystals, the information that comes through in oracle cards. I'm loving the lights next to you, Jessica. That's so great. I love it. So glad to see you here. Hey, you can unmute if you wanted to say hello. Please do. I'm so happy to hear you, see you. Are you okay? No, she says okay. Never mind. That's okay. For now, she says no. That's okay. But please do join us. And again, you guys, you don't have to put your video on or your camera or your sound on, but we really want you guys to have fun with this and participate. And even if it's a piece of jewelry, do you have a necklace? Do you have a hat? Do you have a t-shirt? Do you have anything? But that's not a requirement. It's just, and I love how even Jessica's got her lights around her. And so she's got this expression of her own light. And we're talking about light today. And we're talking about sound and healing and ancient wisdom and Sanskrit and blessings in Hebrew and gratitude and all of these things. but yet it's about really exploring all that we are and being okay with that and honoring that and being and connecting with our animal archetypes and our angels, our ancestors, our guides from other planets and other realms. It's about all of that. It's all connected.
And actively inviting those energies to come in and to come into your life.
Yes, because that's something that we don't do intentionally or actively. And by really getting into it and playing with it, we intentionally bring in that information, bring in that information and that energy. And it's not just for ourselves, it changes the frequency of the human collective consciousness. And so we wanted to bring this idea to you guys. We wanted to share and explore the things that we've been collecting and talk about crystals and their power, talk about music and sound and healing and bringing instruments, bringing readings through the cards. And Dave's gotten several, I've received several new decks, like goddess related cards. And so today I had to laugh because the one that flipped over on the floor. So I think I should probably pick that one up. It just happened to flip over on the deck. So, so one of the things I wanted to do too was invite you guys into, do you guys have oracle decks that you'd like to share readings with, goddess related information, superhero kind of ideas? We all have these superheroes within us, and we're all afraid to show our gifts and abilities, to show our power. And this age of Aquarius, this divine feminine energy, the creative wisdom of the mother, the goddess energy, the creation. And it's all about, though, the alchemy of the creation. It's about the joining of the divine masculine and feminine in a way that we've never done here before, and bringing forth and light languages and information, and by introducing the energy and the information and the wisdom that the crystals have to offer us, that our animal guides have to offer us. I think about the mythical creatures. We think about unicorns, and you know, I love that we here, and Jessica, we're very, it sounds silly, but we're very deeply connected to that idea and that energy, because it represents the rainbow of everything, of all that is. It represents magic. It represents freedom and spontaneity and wisdom. There's wisdom, and there's gentleness, and there's kindness, and there's compassion. Yet there's this focus also, you know, the focusing of that energy. And maybe that's part of what we wanted to do, reiterate here too, is focusing this energy. And these we're having dreams about each other. We're having dreams about being in other realities. We're now being able to touch other parallel realities and bring in information, bring in the wisdom of the mysteries. We still haven't figured out yet. And we're very connected to this energy of the crystal skulls and the mysteries behind that, the mystery schools, but it's bringing all of that back again. The symbols that many of us are receiving and writing, light language symbols, they're not new. Many of us, I'm looking at some of my symbols and I'm realizing they've been around for forever. I just didn't know it. And even the throne, King David, it's this idea of when I first met Dave, I immediately saw images and flashes of King David and the menorah and the Star of David and symbols, and I didn't even know him. So we are connecting to each other telepathically, psychically, in ways we never have before. And this is another tool, another way of generating that energy for all of us. We need to play. We need to remind ourselves, as Dave reminds me quite often, there's nothing serious going on here. We're playing here. We're here to play and love and be in joy, no matter what we believe. And that's a whole nother thing that we are all reminded every day by many of our guides. Forget everything you ever knew about everything. Forget everything you ever knew about everything, about education, philosophy, love, gratitude, everything. We are seeing, we have the opportunity now to, we are activating a human collective consciousness in a higher frequency than we ever have before, being able to tap in and bring in this information and remember all of the information that's stored in all these breadcrumbs and the representation of the elements, the earth, the wind, the fire, the water, how we can speak to them. Our native indigenous peoples of these worlds knew how to connect with the soil, the sand, the air, the earth, the fire, the sun, the moon. We talked about Venus just a short time ago. When was it? Just a week or two ago, there was a very special alignment where they talked Venus kissed the sun, the moon. And it was a beautiful crescent moon. And as Venus moved closer, and this doesn't happen, I forget how often, but the fact that we got to witness it, see it, and now we're talking about Venus and the goddess Venus. We've been, all of it, there's even the songs, how the song Venus, right? That idea of, we've always known in all of mythology, Greek, Roman, ancient mythology, we knew that their stories been handed down and handed down and handed down of information and wisdom through these archetypes. And that's another thing we want to talk about is archetypes and archetype energy. What is an archetype? What does it mean? Why do we connect with them? Why do we embody them? What is it doing for us? How does it help us in 3D? And how does it change who we are as humans? How does it make us better humans? How does it help us connect to each other and our hearts? How does it help us connect to all the other aspects of all that we are? Because really, you guys, this is all we are, is one beautiful diamond creation of all these aspects. And now that we're being able to activate this higher frequency DNA within us and our psychic abilities, we're activating also our creative abilities. The people, the children that are being born, these are the teachers, these are the activators, these are the builders, these are the people who are going to be growing our food and teaching the children of the children. You guys are the teachers of the teachers. We, all of us, and Dave and I want to bring that energy again and kind of further. And I want to thank all of you for the Wednesdays and being with us on Wednesdays. So I wanted to bring that up just a bit too, to thank Bree. And she and I have been really busy. Our schedules here with Dave and I, we've been kind of moving things around, and we've been feeling for a really long time, ever since we met, really, that we wanted to celebrate this Goddess Friday. And so we wanted to really make this happen. And so the time was coming where we were gathering information and energy. And then we started getting really excited. Dave got so excited about getting Relics and seeing the connections between the Relics and the movies and the comics, and how every single thing that we see in everything is a mirror of who we all are. Everybody who writes these books. And Jessica, oh my God, love you so much. Oh my God, she's got her 3rd book out, and I've been sharing it everywhere because I love her so much. She just has a way of touching children's lives. And this is a huge part of another thing that we want to talk about too, is about changing the way children believe about themselves, about what they believe about magic, what they believe about their capabilities, their abilities, their genuineness, their playfulness, to how can we change our education system to bring all of this together for our kids and to create a new civilization of people who are heart-centered and heart-based, yet the driving force is remembering who we are and bringing all that ancient wisdom now and letting the information come to us. Every one of you, all of us are channelers. Every one of us is receiving information from our higher selves, our higher minds, our hearts, our other aspects of ourselves, allowing us to really discover how many people are quitting their jobs and leaving relationships and changing their lives because they're discovering that being their authentic selves it's become too difficult and painful not to be. We have for decades, millennia, really been pretending that we're not who we are. It's time to embrace and love who we are. And that's really, I don't think I've ever been as accepted for all the parts of me. And so to celebrate that and to not ask people to change, but to embrace all that they are. And there's a lot behind this too. If you want to, we can talk later about even the idea of twin flame energy and what does that really mean? And what does it mean to all of us be a mirror to each other? And what does it mean to find those people, soul family, parts of you that not just allow you to be and shine but to empower us, each other, to discover who that is and to bring more of that out in each other. If you would have asked me, even the day I started my light language channel 5 years ago in January, how terrified I was. If you would ask me then that I'd be sitting doing this right now, oh, heck no. Oh, no, not at all. I can tell you even today, I was nervous because it's all about the unexpected, about being your unexpected, about being your unexpected self and then being okay with that unexpected self and allowing all of these movies and the things, all of these things, television. I mean, there's lists, Star Trek and Star Wars, but even earlier than that, in the 50s and the 60s, there's always been television shows and cartoons. Think about the cartoons. Even eventually the Flintstones ended up having an ET, a little guy. So isn't it interesting? Every decade or so, there's new breadcrumbs about all of those things that we are, that we pretend that we're not. And we pretend it in television, we watch movies, we go to plays, right? We act things out, we dress up, we write plays, we write screenplays and scripts, and we are set designers and we're costume designers. Yet we're so limited in that idea, and we wanted to be unlimited, and even that word feels limiting. Is there a better word for unlimited? You don't even like the word unconditional.
Yeah.
It's like infinite. I don't know. So I wanted to say hi to everybody out there, and hi Daniel, hi Beverly, hi Temple. Hey, I love you guys. Hey, yeah, join in if you can. Hey Grace, how are you? Love you. I was watching you guys the other night. Love you guys. So yeah, if you guys want to hop in, I thank you all for your participation and your excitement. And we hope that more of you will join us and hang out with us. And so I really wanted to do, maybe we can show a thing or two. And I did want to pull a couple of cards from my Isis deck, because today too, I really wanted to really honor that idea of her and Isis. And it was one of the first things that I connected to in my ancient Egyptian exploration and identifications among the Hathor and among other, if you want to call them priestesses and deities, that kind of, not deities, but that idea of light languages, the pyramids, the connections between that, between sound healing and water and crystals. And I became aware of those parts of me very early on in my journey. And even Dave has been collecting things like that to help magnify in, and what am I looking for?
We'll invite those energies.
Invite that energy in of the wisdom and the information that's deep within the crystals and the gems and the things that we have been exploring. You think about pirates too, you guys, and treasure chests and gold and silver. And it's like all of it, we're always pretending and playing. And yet we're so afraid to do it for real, like for real, like do it for real in your real life and see what happens. Just see what happens. And so to explore this and give us each permission to be fun and fabulous. And you don't have to dress up like this, but it would be a lot of fun if you did, because the more the merrier. And it's really about inviting all of this. And you guys too, if the time, we've been playing with the time here on Friday, on Wednesdays. Again, I want to thank all of you for the Wednesdays, and we haven't stopped. We've transitioned to Fridays, but with scheduling availability and Bree, we still want to do some stuff on Wednesdays. So we're hoping to do that if we can, maybe even on a regular basis again, maybe once a month. So this is kind of an addition to that, but also a transition, but it's something we really been wanting to do and play with. And so it's in addition to light language, in addition to light languages and symbols, we really wanted to explore more and more and more of that. And so being that we really wanted to do it on the energy of Goddess Friday. I mean, we could have done this on Wednesday, but the point was, it's about the energy. It's about doing things intentionally. And I don't know if you guys can see behind me, but that we had discovered a lot of really wonderful things about acacia wood, the acacia tree. And it's that the Ark of the Covenant, if you guys are familiar with that, if you're not, Google it. Indiana Jones, Ark of the Covenant, the crystal skulls, all of that is all of us. All of that is all of us reliving what we know we already are. And the crystal skulls that we connect to here, the crystal skulls that we're connected, the actual crystal skulls, I'm deeply connected to that. So is Dave. So, and then we bring that into, they were created during that time of Atlantis, what we understand as Atlantis, but it's happening really right now. It's another parallel reality that we're all tapping into and feeling this energy. So when we say we're from there, or we're all connecting to all those things, all of us are starting to see glimpses of all these things and are feeling these connections to the crystals and the skulls. Because we're all ready now, we are all becoming ready frequentially to receive that information. We weren't ready as a human race, I don't think, to appreciate and use the information, because this is one of the reasons it was hidden, because we weren't grown up enough to use it yet. We would have been given tools like giving a child a power tool. You can't really do that till you're ready to use it. And so we as humans weren't ready to use it until now. And I think that this is the time that all of us collectively have decided to come here now for this reason, so that we can remember all of this and remember who we are and activate this within all of us. And it's about all of that. It's about ascension and first contact and living your bliss and being authentic, because you cannot live your bliss and attract those to you and attract the things and the people and the livings that you desire. How many people are leaving their everyday jobs because they're realizing it's not what's making them happy? Making a living is not the same thing as making a life. It's not the same thing, but you can make a living at making a life, because when you're doing what you love, making a living comes along with it. I mean, we will always have exactly what we need when we need it. Even if we don't think we have it, we do. You have the ability and the resources at all times. We're here to remind everybody of that you already have abundance, and it's about intuition. It's about intention. It's about realizing. And today equals 11. So not only is it Friday the 13th, which we're all scared of for some reason, which is ridiculous.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. Because we don't want that. We're breaking everything we've ever understood. The only reason, do you guys see now? The only reason why Friday the 13th was suppressed and the number 13 is because it means expansion and ascension. And it was in certain people's best interest to snuff out the fire of the divine feminine. And by no longer honoring it and pretending like and Friday the 13th and making it something that it isn't, and letting us believe that it's something that it isn't. And even the idea of Fridays in general and honoring the goddess. Why do we have, the whole point is that one of the things that Dave and I like to talk about is, why do we have to set aside a day for it? Why do we make an effort to live authentically and to invite this information in every single day, every minute, by intentionally inviting this information in and inviting the information from the crystals and living it, not just, and this is what we're trying to, I think, reiterate in all of our lives, is it's about doing this intentionally every day. I don't think I've ever met someone seriously as intentional with moment by moment as he is. I mean, to be focused and in such a way that the highest good is the only thing acceptable. I don't know how else to say it. That the highest good for me and him and all concerned and all of creation is always first and foremost. And so how many of us actually live like that? Like actually live like that and play like that, play like that. And it's about, and how many times have I said in my videos that my guides have said to me, your work is your play and your play is your work. If you're playing, it can be your work. Our life's work should be our play. That's kind of the point of life in general. So sometimes we don't know what that is. How many of us go, oh, gee, I don't know. I'm doing this and I don't know what's my highest excitement. I really don't know. And I'm meeting people all the time now for the last 5 years in private sessions and just in general in these hangouts. I'm meeting people all the time. And even people who've messaged me privately saying, you know what, you inspired me to like not do this thing that I'm doing, like, cause I don't want to do this anymore. And I think I'm going to go like do something else, like go study Reiki or be a healer or go help other people in a different way, or take what I know and apply it in a different way, or do something completely different. Completely different. I feel like so many of us feel like there's this clock that if you haven't done something by this age, it doesn't. Let me tell you guys, I'm starting kind of brand new, and I'm starting brand new today. And that's another thing we have to remember, brand new every day. But starting brand new today. And I was reminded the other day, you've got a whole nother life ahead of you. So we think when we think it's over, we can, once we realize that there's more and more, how many people then do you start to see who are remarrying at 50, 60, 70, 80, 100? We were Julia Hawkins. Yay, let's talk about Julia Hawkins. The runner, 104 years old, guys, 104-year-old champion runner, 104. So, you know, we can all do things once we change our perspectives. Once we open the door, then great things, magical people, circumstances, places, arrangements just fall in our laps because it's already all there. We just got to let go and let it in. And we've been talking about this a lot here lately. And I so want to talk about AJ swimming. Can I? Okay. So I'm just really excited. Oh, is there? Okay. I'm just excited because I wanted to just share a little story of Dave's grandson here, AJ, and that, yes, that's correct. And hey, welcome, hop in. And for any of you who don't know, hi Stefan, AJ's grandson is a quadriplegic, and he had the opportunity and the excitement we got to see of him actually getting to go scuba diving. So something he never ever thought he would be able to do. Yeah. And so it was really exciting, and something he never, I'm sure, thought that he would probably be able to do in that situation. So that is just one example, you guys, of which I was really excited to share, because it was, you know, when we believe in miracles, and I wanted to say we've been taught, and forget everything you've ever known, because we've always been taught that seeing is believing, but it doesn't work that way, you guys. It doesn't. You've got to believe it in order to see it, because that's the mirror. The belief is the mirror. The belief is the mirror that reflects back to you in your physical reality, what you want and what you're getting. And if you don't like what you're seeing and what you're getting, then you got to change the mirror. You got to change the reflection. So it has to start with us. Our lives and our creations, we intend and we manifest by vibration, by what we feel and believe about ourselves and what we believe we're capable of. And sometimes we don't know what that is, but this is what helps us figure that out. Exploring all of this helps us figure all that out. It helps us figure out who we are and what we want. We don't know. We really don't know. Our minds don't know. Our higher mind does and our heart mind does, but our thinking mind has no clue what we want. No clue. All it needs to do is say, I want what is going to make me the happiest and most joyful, and I'm going to let my higher self bring all of the signs and synchronicities and all the relics and movies and television shows and comic books to show me all of that. To the people that come in my life, the crystal, the oracle card readings that I'm telling you, I've had people over the last few weeks and months that were scared to have an oracle reading. And once they did, now they want more, because they realize there's nothing scary about learning something about yourself. There's nothing scary about receiving information from your guides. There's nothing scary about having an emotional connection to a character in a movie and going, oh my God, I'm her. Oh my God, I'm him. Oh my God, I lived then. Why do you think all these movies are here? To remind us of all that we are. And this goes way back. We talk about all these television shows. I Dream of Jeannie. I happen to own, thanks to Dave, an exact replica of one of the I Dream of Jeannie bottles. Now, this is an old television show, if you guys want to look it up, in the United States. And it's all about magic. We've been taught. I Dream of Jeannie, Casper and the Friendly Ghost, Scooby-Doo, Star Trek, Star Wars, all the cartoons. It's all Mork and Mindy, you guys. Mork. Oh my God, love you, Robin. Love you, love you, love you. I was so connected to Robin Williams, you guys. So connected to him. Not just to who he was connected, not just to his character, but to him, his soul, his being, who he really was, seeing the sadness in his laugh and seeing and feeling and knowing who he really is and honoring him, honoring that part of what he brought to us. Look what he brought to us, you guys. He brought us this idea that this alien guide can come in an egg-shaped thing and talk to us and make friends with somebody and try to learn what it's like to live on Earth. I mean, it was fun, and yet it sent us all a message that there's more out there. We're more. We're connected to more. And how many of us are so excited. Dave and I say all the time, just land already. We just want to come and talk to you. Come and hang out, have tea. Come and have tea with us. We want it so badly. So it's like all of these things. It's ancient and it's new and it's old and it's about spaceships and it's about all of this. And so there is no limit, because we're not limited. We're everything. And we're having so much fun exploring all of that everything. And so again, if I wanted to get back to like the time, now we want to do this on Fridays. We chose 111 for Big Well 1 because it's 3, it's the Trinity, it's about pyramids, but sacred geometry, that's another thing we want to talk about, is sacred geometry and how all that plays into language. How did sacred geometry and sound become language? How did symbols become language? How did the Hebrew language become from light? How did light become sound? This is all, it's old, but it's new. And I'm laughing at all these posts on Facebook. Oh, scientists have now discovered. Well, they've discovered what we've been trying to tell y'all all along, right? Everybody who has been receiving information from other sources, from source itself, has been, But scientists are here to show us the contrast that everything needs to be tested and tested and proven and proven. No, it doesn't. All you need is to know it's true for you and that it works for you. That's all you need. If it works for you, it works for you, period. It doesn't need to be tested and tried, but it substantiates and it raises the frequency of the human collective, because those who are still in a frequency of believing that they're limited are being awakened in this way, because it's the bridge. There is no separation between science and spirituality, but now we're bridging that together, and all of us together are bridging that. And so science is catching up. And pretty soon they're going to realize they don't need to hypothesize and test everything to death. They're going to simply understand that we all have intuition and instincts that we're just simply not using. We're not empowering it. We're not utilizing it. And so we're all able to read an oracle deck. All you have to do is intend and ask that a message be sent to you for your highest intention, your highest growth, and shuffle the cards and close your eyes and open your heart and just listen to when to stop and turn over the card and tell me it doesn't give you a message. You're all capable of this, all of you. This is about empowering all of you. This isn't about giving people information. It's about empowering you to find your own information and then bring it here and explore it. It's about empowering you to figure out who you are and play with it. You know, be explorative, be brave, be daring. So it's about all of that. And how many, one of the best things I ever heard was, just do it scared. Just do it scared. Because how else do we do anything? We do it scared. We're all scared. You know, AJ was scared, but guess what? He did it twice and wants to do it again, I'll bet. So do it scared. We're all capable of things that we never thought we were. So I'm going to shuffle some cards, and I'm going to, I think, have a drink of water. Do you want to talk a little bit and maybe see what do we got going on here? We got lots of, Jessica, I see you guys are talking with each other. I love that. And that's another thing I love, is that you guys talk to each other and join in and interact. And so, yeah, what else do we want to?
I certainly want to remind everyone in the YouTube chat that all they have to do is come in the Zoom channel and participate. And that way everyone watching the video later can benefit from all these nice comments and information, because this is, we want to share.
Exactly.
We don't want to provide information. We want to create a place where we could all share the information and knowledge and questions.
And it is really nice when you guys interact, because then in the, like Dave said, later on, when people go back and watch the video, they can actually follow the live chat along. And so it's very nice for people to see you guys interacting too, and sharing your information. So any information you guys want to bring about relics and artifacts and your experience with them, and movies or television, or, you know, but we don't want to make dressing up a requirement, because we don't want people to feel uncomfortable, but we want to encourage it. That's really what it, and even if it's just a hat or a necklace, or, you know, with anything, I mean, just anything to express yourself, or even like Jessica back there, she's got her beautiful lights behind her, and it doesn't have to be, you know, anything, but it's about doing something you've never done before, coming out of your shell, being explorative, being a little bit more expressive. And, you know, it doesn't have to cost a lot of money. You can, you know, costume, all kinds of costume jewelry, you know, if you can. Costumes are fun and awesome. And these are just adult costumes that you can buy on Amazon or anywhere. And, you know, that you'd wear to a costume party, and just to have fun with it all. We think nothing. We joked about that too. We think nothing of doing it once a year or twice a year on certain occasions, or Halloween. But yet we're so afraid to just do it, just to have fun with it, just to play with it, and play with sound and music, and talk about how this is healing for people, and how we will wake up. I don't know about you guys, but I'll wake up from dreams like remembering places I've been, and doing light languages in the sky. I don't know how else to describe it. About being in the temples and in pyramids, and how many of us are drawn to gathering artifacts. We just love artifacts. We love those things that help us connect to other things. We all do. We save things. We're savers. We're humans. We like to hold on to possessions and things that were created in our physical reality that remind us of something, but we're reminded by, like Bashar, and that it's, well, but you created it right now, right the second you created it right now, whether it's in your memory or whether it's in your hand. You created it right now for this experience, to connect with something, to do something that you have never done before, to activate something in someone you've never done before. And we're open to moving the time of the day if it's easier for other people. If you guys are watching this and you want to participate and you say, well, I can't join, till later. We were doing the Wednesdays at 3:33 p.m. We're adjusting this a little bit to help it to be a little bit earlier, because we thought there would be more people perhaps in Europe that might be able to join us. That might be a little late, starting at 3 in the afternoon here at Eastern time. So we're playing with that a little bit. We'd like to keep it a little earlier as possible. But we are welcoming your input as far as time. But really it's about honoring this on Fridays and doing these readings. If you guys have, like I said in the description, if you haven't read it yet, bring your oracle cards. If you've got like oracle cards, like God or goddess related oracle cards, or things that you feel would be appropriate. The idea is to do collective readings. The idea is to understand that when we pull a card, it's a message for everyone. This is a unity. It's a collective effort. It's a remembering and a gathering of our soul families. And so we're always open to all of you in your participation and bringing your items and show and tell. How many times did we love when we were kids? Show and tell. And if I wasn't mistaken, in school, in public schools, I think it was on Fridays. I think show and tell was on Fridays, because it was like the easy day, the end of the week, the teacher gets a break. It's like, okay, let's do show and tell. Everyone got excited about bringing something for show and tell. Why? Because it tells a story. It tells a story of our experience. Every one of us is nothing but a story. We're just stories. It's all stories. We're all stories. We're stories of source. We're all just a source. We're all source telling a story of who it is through us. All of us. And we're many, 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 many fractals. We are, each of us. So it's about all of that, connecting all of that. It's not just about light languages. It's about really, really exploring our multidimensionality. And how does that relate to light languages and linguistics? Linguistics meaning the study of language in general. How does it all connect? How does it all connect to the sacred geometry? Why are we so excited about collecting sacred geometry? Why is it that we understand that I can't tell you how many times I looked at the Star of David. I can't tell you how many times I looked at the Star of David. And we already know it's two triangles on top of each other, one inverted. Also the representation of our Merkaba, right? Two triangles, two pyramids. When you look at them superimposed, looking down on them from a bird's eye view, that's what it looks like. Bashar talked about this a long, 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 long time ago. So, but what was funny was the center is a hexagon surrounded by 6 triangles, and it's a 6-pointed star. Now, how many of us have had thoughts that was something less than high frequency? 666, that idea of the number 6, but it's about 3, it's about 33, it's about the divine, it's about the Trinity, it's about the magnification, the mirroring of that body, mind, and spirit, 2 triangles, 3 and 3. And we know that these numbers represent 111, 211, 222, 333, 444, all these divine numbers, the times we see on the clocks. We're all talking about that too. The clock, the time on the clocks, how an 11:11. 11:11 for me was an alarm clock number that to me, so many people who, I have a tone in my ear right now too. So that leads me to another thing about receiving tones in our ears and connections with higher frequency information and getting downloads of data through sound, through a tone, but yet it's like, I know I'm receiving like what I would call volumes, for example, of information, and it's still, the tone's still going on. So it's kind of funny how long it's lasting this time, because sometimes it's brief. But it reminds us in that moment to be aware of this connection that we're having, and that we're receiving information from a higher level, even if we don't necessarily can't extrapolate it. Well, that's what light language is, and that's what light is, and that's what sacred geometry is. I never did take a drink of water.
I'm reminded about the downloads because a lot of people wonder what they do with that information. And sometimes you might get a download, have no idea what to do with it. And the point of it is really you're receiving it for the collective. So you are in a vibration that allows you to get that information. And once you get it, then you're literally broadcasting it out to the people who need it, who could use it, who could, you might have a really good idea about an invention, but you're not an inventor and you don't have the facilities to create this invention. But because you received the download, now you're thinking about it. Just the act of doing that is transmitting it out to someone who can. Maybe they weren't able to receive the information at the level that it needed to come in. So sometimes there's nothing you need to do about it other than allow it to happen. So people get downloads all the time, and information, it might not be for them. It'll benefit everyone at some point, but and it might be something you need to use at a later time, but sometimes it has nothing to do with you.
That's a very good point. We do talk about that a lot too, that sometimes the information we're receiving really is information simply for the collective. And sometimes we talk about that too. Sometimes we get as humans, because we need to identify and label. And so we spend a lot of time and energy trying to figure out why is this happening? What am I supposed to do with this information? What does it mean? And sometimes it's not about, well, no, it's never about thinking about it. It's never about thinking it. It's about allowing the information to come to you about what it's supposed to mean. And sometimes I'll get information, completely forget about it completely. And then all of a sudden one day I remember, it's like, now I know now I'm supposed to share it. It wasn't meant to be shared any sooner. So that happens a lot. And sometimes our ego, our mind says, oh my God, I'm so excited. I need to share this. I need to figure out what it is and why it is. And then I need to tell everybody what it is and why it is. But again, it's always going to be about our own perspective. First of all, of course, it's always going to be. Life is always only going to be about your perspective, always. And it's always going to be filtered through your beliefs, your thoughts, your experiences, what you believe are your experiences, because we're beginning to understand even that is everything's now. That our experience is an experience in our consciousness, but it's an experience we're having right now. Because there's only right now. The past is not the past. There is no future. There is no past. Everything's right now, happening right now. That's a whole nother level of activation of awareness and intuition and activating our psychic abilities, all of them. That's part of what this Friday thing is about too. It's about all of that. What are gods and goddesses? They're people with superpowers, right? They're people with powers that we thought were inhuman. Y'all are gods and goddesses. We are already all inhuman. We just have a human vessel, but we're already powerful. This is the whole point of this. The power is already there. You just have to remember it. And intentionally, as Dave said, intentionally activate it. And knowing that it's for the collective. Sometimes it's about sharing, even if you're sharing it telepathically, it still makes a difference. It makes a difference. What else do you want to say about that?
Well, I wanted to remind again about the dressing up part. The dressing up
I dropped that card.
is also a permission slip to invite in the energies of what you're doing, what you're dressing up. Could just be a bracelet or a necklace or, you know, a little crown. We even have a Burger King crown.
That's right, the Burger King crown back here.
On. And those are activations. So everyone's looking, how do I get activated? But those are ways and permission slips of getting activated. And just having the different relics around are activating. Putting on a costume is activating if you want to use it as a permission slip. So I don't know how many things, you know, we've looked at and you're like, I got completely activated by that.
Oh, and actually I forgot too, I was going to bring in view, which you guys can't see, the staffs behind us.
Oh yeah.
The Ankh staffs and the Aquaman trident and the keys to the TARDIS are over here for Doctor Who, and I've got a Harry Potter wand, a magic wand, and let's see, we've got a TARDIS, and I've got my journal, and the Ark of the Covenant, and we've got a menorah, we've got several menorah.
And every week,
and the Torah.
The idea is every week that we'll talk about individual specific things and, you know, show them some things that we have, but not limited to things that we actually have here.
No, right. It's just ideas even, and
how we talked about, you know, finding sort of light language symbols in movies and things like that, identifying those kind of things and talking about them. And
well, like the other day, we were talking about the movie, The Fifth Element, which is actually a relatively older movie. You guys can Google it. I forget what year it came out. And with Bruce Willis. And what a movie. I identified with her immediately. And like all the characters' names, Lilu, I totally identified with her and the whole thing. It was so strange. It was almost like, I don't know. It was kind of weird. It was kind of funny watching the movie again because it almost felt like me meeting you or something. It was kind of weird. So, but it's funny how we identify with these characters because we realize, well, in another life, I am her. That did happen to me. It actually happened to me. I feel
Wendy
it.
dropped out of the sky.
I just dropped out of the sky, and but the idea is that she is the fifth element, and that the idea of bringing in that the ancient wisdom and that the connecting of the earth, the air, the fire, the water, and the fifth element. And I think that in this fifth dimension, in this age of Aquarius, I think that we are that fifth element. All of us, I think we are that thing that connects these ideas and reminds us that we're all creating and receiving information from what we call the Akash, which I just see as what a big library, you know, the big library of all the stories of all that is. And this deck that I have, I just love it so much. Thank you, Dave. The Isis Oracle. And I've been really connecting a lot with this Isis energy, and I invite you all to explore her. I was reading things up on her recently too, because she's this idea of the mother, the goddess of the mother energy, fertility, creativity, all of those things that we're all experiencing now are really giving birth to this new age, this new race of people, if you will, this higher vibrational frequency people, and reminding us that we already embody these archetypes within us. It's not that we were them, we're connecting to them, but we are part of that soul family. If you're connecting to it, there's a reason for it. You're receiving information. It could be part of your soul family. It could be your guides. Perhaps you have a guide from that reality. So it's not that we were that person necessarily, like, oh, I am goddess Isar, I was her. But yes, I am her, embodying her, that energy here in this now, and all that she represents, and bringing that information. When I say information, meaning frequency. Information comes through frequency, and frequency is coming through these transmissions. And so all of a sudden now too, I'm feeling like light languages while I'm shuffling. Now, when I was getting ready here, this card flipped over. Mother of life, nourishment of the golden grain mother. So that's very, well, so first of all, there's the Ankh in the middle, and I'm actually wearing an Ankh right now too. You can't see it, and we have them all over the house. And then we've got the Isis wings, and even the lapis lazuli color, this energy. And when I heard the mother, the golden grain mother, the first thing I heard was, you are all planting new seeds, new grains of information, and honoring that. And it's funny, grain too, and wheat, and it's just interesting how that idea is very sacred to me as well. And the wheat, and Dave's a Virgo, and he's got all 5 signs and 5 planets in Virgo. And so, but the symbol for Virgo is the wheat, the wheat sheaf, I think it's called. And so, but the idea that I would always myself have connected with that energy of the grains, of the farm fields. If you guys if you've been with me for a little while and you watched some of my videos from early on, many of them were done in the farm fields, where I talked about, my guides talked about that idea, the grains, the information that's stored in that, and that when it grows, and we bless, when they told me, when I bless the grains, when I bless the corn, and when it's distributed through the world, wherever it is, that data, that information, my love, my light languages are embedded within those grains of seed. And so very powerful messages for me as I was awakening and realizing these things. But it isn't just me, it's all of you, it's all of us, that by even the blessings that we do at night at dinner are blessing every part of the meal, including the flowers on the table, and the beeswax and the candles, and really, really intentionally sending gratitude to the people, the people that are present, our guides, are the people that are present, physical and non-physical, that are there with us enjoying this. How many times do we intentionally invite our guides to join us in a meal and enjoy the taste of the food, because physical reality is the only place that we can do that? And inviting them to our table, because as soon as you do, you feel it, you feel them with you. And the reverence and the gratuity that we send to the grains within the bread, and the people who prepared it and distributed it and put it on the shelves in the stores, and grew it and touched it. And how I love receiving things. When we receive these artifacts from all over the world, I love even touching the paper that it comes in, and because I know that someone else touched it, and their energy went into it, and their love and their time and their creativity and I can feel it. And so we put that, and we talk about a mother's love being put in food. And it's the one first thing that a mother's instinct is to feed her family and to take care of them. And so, but this is not just about the women and the mothers. It's about all of us. It's about honoring this part of us in all of us, because there's a nurturing energy to this divine feminine that so many of us, and especially I think men, are afraid to embrace and embody within themselves, or even embrace and embody with the people in their lives, the females in their lives, their partners, whatever that may be. And so I think that this is a part of that too, is nurturing all of that. And then it goes beyond that too, because then when we do that, we create an environment, as we like to talk about here too, creating a house of healing, creating an environment that's loving and healing, but also inviting the ancient wisdom, inviting the new wisdom, inviting how does the new meet the old? What is new and old? When it's everything exists at once, there is no new and old. There's nothing, it's not really ancient. It's not really. So so all of these things, when I look at something like this, are sparked in me. And even we have a lot of Egyptian motifs around, and it's extremely activating that mother goddess energy. So I wanted to also, the back of this card too is funny because it is I guess, would you call that a bee or a wasp or
might be the scarab.
like, is it and it's got, yeah, it's with the wings. Oh, it is the scarab with the wings open. Okay, there you go. I forgot that they fly. That's right. So that's another thing too, the scarab, which is kind of a symbol of, eternal life and strength. And then I did forget about that too, because it does represent the fact that even though they are ground dwellers and hang out, they also can fly. And so that's really a good, I think, symbol for us too. I'll have to look into that more too, to see what that symbol actually means. And oops, there we go. I was going to look to see if there was if you guys had any comments that you wanted to share. I just wanted to say hi, everybody. Hi, thanks for watching. Hey, Deb. Yeah, I love you guys. Thank you, Dahlia Rose. Hey, how are you doing? Good to see you guys. Oh, Golden Dragon. Oh, yes. It's funny too. We're going to be talking a lot about archetypes, and dragons is one of them, you guys. We're going to be talking about that too. And I've got an awesome dragon deck, which I'm going to be sharing some dragon wisdom with that too. So we're going to be talking about that idea of the dragon archetypes and that energy, because there's a lot of people now too in exploring their spirituality, including myself in my own exploration. A lot of us are connecting with that idea of dragon energy, and what it means to us, what it is, what it represents. What does it represent to each of us? So if any of you are interested in sharing some of that information too, about that idea of dragon energy, it's just a whole nother archetype that many of us have been exploring. And I think each of us have different perspectives that we can share with each other about that. And I think also to, again, forget everything we've already known about what we think about that idea and that energy in general, along with all of these other mystical creatures, so, and if we look to the creatures in the sea, which I'm thinking about right now, so I wanted to say happy birthday to, I got it. Now I have a tone in the other ear. Wow, lots of information being given to me today. So I wanted to say thank you, or happy birthday to all the Pisceans, all you water energy family, and my sister. Happy birthday, sis. So it's my Earth sister's birthday today, or yesterday, excuse me. So, but she's celebrating. This is her celebration weekend. So happy birthday to all of you, and you water signs, and to remind all of us that water was a big part of this idea of Egyptian healing. Water is a big part of healing in general. Water is the second thing that the human body cannot live without. The first is air, and the second is water. And one of the things that has been dear to me and to many of us exploring our spirituality is the idea of connecting to not just the water, but all the waters, the seas, all the bodies of water, the water in our bodies, the water we drink, the water in the sky, the water in the clouds. I was reminded the other day by the Cloud Collective that they are also part of the water collective, because of course clouds are made of water. So interesting how we forget that even collectives are co-creating. And so I was kind of reminded a little bit about that even clouds are their own creation, but they're like the third thing. They're like the result of and so even that I was reminded is the Cloud Collective is its own little alchemy, if you will, and how also water can change and transform from steam to vapor, of course, to ice to liquid, and Eye of Horus, awakening divine perception. And this is both, both the divine feminine and the divine masculine. So very, very powerful card. And I can probably read, maybe I'll read one of these just to get an idea of, I love this deck. This is Alana Fairchild. And actually I've got a couple of hers now, thanks to Dave. And I absolutely love her work. I have the journal as well. And a lot of the images that I got the journal first, and then Dave found the cards, and many of these images, I mean, these images are so, oh, here, actually, you know what? I'm going to set this down for a second because I just opened the book and I had forgotten that I had set this one aside, and I was guided right now to read this one instead. And I love this. It's The Miracle of Isis, Miraculous Healing of the Goddess. And that's what I wanted. That's what I really wanted to talk about and embody today too, is that idea that these types of gatherings are also healing in that they raise our vibration to allow us to become the frequency of the people that we desire to be, that do not contain the lower vibrational frequencies that result in our creations that we do not prefer. And so that was one of the things that was empowering about this. And actually, I love it because I've got her headdress on. Look at that image. And I love this image because, of course, it reminds me of, you know, the support that I have and that the connections. And one of the things that one of the biggest is, I think, biggest messages that that Dave and I would like to convey to everybody is, again, authenticity helps draw us to the people that are most in harmony with the highest vibrational version of ourselves. Did I say that right? And so I love this image because it doesn't mean, I want to say from the goddess herself that it never means that you need another to feel whole. It means that you've got to feel complete and whole within yourself before you could possibly find the person who matches that wholeness and who is whole within themselves as well. And so I know we've said this many times, we've heard it many times. But I wanted to reiterate that was one of the things that she was saying is that we really have got to come into our own power, men and women. We've got to come into our own power first in loving ourselves as highly as we possibly can, in service to ourselves, and not in selfishness, but in the idea of, as I do the thing that I love the most and be the most authentic being I can be the most, in that way I am being of highest service to source. And that in turn, I will receive all of the things that I know will make me happy, regardless of whether I know what they are or not. And that is part of the biggest thing, a message about being authentic too, is being authentic is all there is. You need to know moment by moment, because the rest you will figure out and realize. And today, being an 11 number, the sacred Syrian circuit for 11 is realized. And I've had lots of realizations today. And I hope that all of you also have realizations today as a result of these gatherings, of this gathering, of empowering and embracing your divine selves and showing up and playing and interacting. And we love that you guys are here. I'm very excited. And so let me share this message from, how are we doing on time? I want to share this message, I see now, on this card, The Key of Life. And actually, is this in the right one? I don't think it is. I just realized that I think I'm not in the right. Oh, the Wings of Isis. Okay, well, I've got all kinds of information coming through. Uniting with the angelic self. This, you guys, was really an important card for me when I first opened this deck, which is one of the reasons why I saved those spots in those cards. So I'm just kind of being guided what to share with all of you. And I had forgotten that I saved this one too, because the wings of Isis uniting with the angelic self. This is something that I wanted to bring up today that we haven't really talked about. And this, I'm glad that I was guided to this, because one of the things that I experienced maybe a couple of weeks ago was that idea of when I was connecting to the Isis energy, she was showing me how I was connecting to my angelic self. And I didn't understand. It didn't really understand what one had to do with the other. As it was happening, as I was experiencing it, I didn't understand what she was trying to say to me. And then it was funny, because then I pulled this card. I think it was even, I might have even had that before I even got this deck. I don't remember, because time, doesn't exist really. So, but I remember thinking, how does that happen? And I have angel wings. That was one of the first things I received, was a set of angel wings. So I will be sharing those again with all of you. So actually, I'm going to read this one, Uniting with the Angelic Self, because part of this discussion is about how do these archetypes tie into that too, because maybe we would think one has nothing to do with the other. And this is what's so special about this and authenticity and being yourself is that we understand there is no separation between anything, and that by embodying this divine within us, we can connect with our angelic self. So I like that. It says you have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic world. So apparently this was the message that all of you guys needed to hear instead. And me. Part of your soul purpose is to birth angelic consciousness and values such as fearlessness, compassion, and service into this human culture. Well, now I know why we're supposed to read that one. This oracle brings you angelic assistance and intervention and confirmation that any impressions you may have had that you belong not only to the human kingdom, but also to the angelic one are correct. So if any of you had a question about that, apparently you needed to be confirmed that that is the case. You have a special spiritual relationship with the angelic worlds and are helping to birth angelic qualities of fearlessness, light, service to the greater good, and alignment of divine will into human form. This is no small task. And although you are well equipped to succeed, there are beings that wish to assist you so that they may grow too, and your success may be more graceful and swift. Isis, divine winged mother, goddess and angel of healing, wishes to assist you with unconditional love now. You are guided to accept angelic assistance and ask for Lady Isis, who loves you unconditionally, to assist you with integrating angelic energies into your consciousness and life. You will be asked to lift yourself up to higher and higher vibrational states of awareness, and this may mean letting go of certain relationships, practices, or states of being, or even particular habits or thought patterns that would lower your vibration into fear, doubt, or shame. Give yourself permission to just let this happen. You do not need to force anything. It is a matter of softening, allowing, and trusting what feels right for you with absolute faith and bold, radical acceptance. It will be okay! Exclamation point. There are others like you on this planet, beloved initiate. Though far from the majority, you occupy a special role in the evolution of human consciousness as it connects more deeply and twines with the natural world. The more you accept this part of you, the more you shall draw into your world others like you. You will just feel comfortable with each other because you all hold a similar refined vibration. Even in the midst of the ordinary, everyday relationship, there is a sense of easy connection, mutual understanding, and spiritual acknowledgement. This oracle is also a confirmation that if you have been asking to connect with your angel, praying to a particular angel or archangel, or have been thinking about angels lately, that genuine connection has been made between you and the angelic kingdom. The angels send you love and peace now and say, "We are with you, beloved one." And it's funny because you can use a feather or a crystal and sit quietly and connect with your breath and breathe. Listen to the breath flowing through your body and say, "I honor this light. I honor the light in the sacred body of mine, this body that belongs to light and nature, this body that contains the angelic consciousness of divine love." And there's a few more excerpts in here in the book, which actually there's a couple more pages. And I think what I'll do is, if you guys are, I think what I'll do is I will take a photograph of the remaining pages and I'll post them on my blog. And then that way you guys can see the remainder of the pages. That way I don't have to sit here and read it. But I just feel like that information right there was what needed to be shared today, specifically, and along, of course, with everything else that we've shared today. But that one really was the one that I was guided to read today. And so I didn't want to keep it too long today. What else would you like to share?
Invite some ISIS energy in for some light.
And that's what I was going to do next, because I knew that was where we were going to go with that. So I think that's what I want to do now too, is
in honor of our first Goddess
so
Friday
yeah,
show.
in honor of our first show today, and again, to invite all of you to embody this energy, to invite us, or to invite you to join us on Fridays in the room or interacting. I'm so loving seeing all of you out there and watching, and your comments. I really appreciate it, and I'm excited to go back and read them all, because I can't keep up with them all. So I love going back and reading them and seeing how you're interacting with each other and how you're reacting to the information. And to once again invite all of you to bring all of this information in your daily life, not just on Fridays. Do this in your daily life. Ask to be connected with your God and goddess energy, and how do I help that connect to my angelics and everything else in between. So everybody, if you want to take a nice drink of water, if you can, take a nice deep breath. And I'm just going to do the same here. I think I'm going to take a drink of water too, and invite in our divine goddess Isis energy, and bring in light languages and a blessing from her, from this energy, from really the divine God and goddess energy within us all. Oh, thank you. Yes. Thank you very much. Thank you for reminding me. So I've got my Tibetan singing bowl here that Dave just handed me. And reminded me. So one of the things that all realms, I think, agree with, and all practices, I believe, all use sound in some form as a healing modality, and also to clear a space, to invite in clear energies, as well as releasing any stagnant energies that may be in the room. For if we could see sound, we would see the colors vibrating out, and each color is a frequency, and each sound is a frequency and a color. So if we could actually see it, we would actually see it reverberating out into the room. So maybe you can picture that, and picture that too during the light language blessings. They're saying to also picture, literally intend to cleanse and clear out any of these energies that are less than empowering in your life, in your home, in your workspace, no matter where you are, your vehicle. They're saying it doesn't matter where you are right now, to intentionally do it. And you could be in one place and clear another. It doesn't matter. You don't have to be in that space. Wherever you feel it needs it, you can close your eyes. You can send energy colors to it, to a room. If you'd like to initiate a particular color into a room, send it as if it were smoke coming out of a genie bottle. They're showing me as if it was incense. So we're going to talk about incense too a lot. and about the relationship to incense and acacia wood and the altar and these sorts of things as well. So if you do have incense, please do light it, burn it. If you have a candle, light it. See the information going out into the room, the light codes, the actual symbols and codes and sacred geometry that's floating around. Literally see it just floating through your room, in your dreams, and filled with color like steam in a room, and just picture the energy just filling every single corner of the room and transforming all of the energy in it, because really there's nowhere for anything to go. We have to remember that if everything's connected to everything and all that is all that is, everything, there's nowhere for anything to go. So we're just transforming energy. When we're saying releasing it, we're really transforming it. We're sending it gratitude, thanking it for being with us in that moment and its service. And then now we're going to allow new energy in. And if you can open your doors and windows, that's great too. It doesn't have to be now or today, but the idea is to do this intentionally and regularly, and to use your singing bowls and use your candles for this idea and feel it, and intentionally then inviting this fresh new energy. And here in the United States, we're, in the Northern Hemisphere, we're moving into the spring. So, and coming in the next couple of weeks is going to be the spring equinox. And so we're going to be moving into that idea of cleaning and cleansing, and even in the Southern Hemisphere, moving into autumn. So again, airing things out, getting things ready for the next season. So let's think about that as well, and about the moon and our connections to the moon and the goddess energy that comes through the moon. I even have a moon goddess, a moon goddess deck. So we'll be sharing that deck with you as well, if not today, another day. So I'm really excited to share all of this with you. So here we go. Nisavishnari ila inana sete ilahana abahala seteteyana so koleatai. Nishania imalete I ala amalia satovyasha ama ana ite izavashanose adama evele kore. Molore shantikia altarvesheso alehima leatorovoa lahama le antorekuna sivasho me sevasona teleana. Emeshe iti la lemi te se sivaso sevashoto. Mishenia tualu. Ma imalia torvesheno savi isana se ti isana tavi nanema la copa. Pieshena se iva shono daviala lapo leha le somase. Seva sono devia lihama leomor koshesete. Seva sono meala ele puma sete I ananayato. Honor the sound of the spirit within you. Honor the sound of the mother. Navo Yashana, as she whispers in your ear, Seva somate ilaki sanasete lianama. Ima seta shina, as she sings you a lullaby as you drift off to sleep. Mi ani teki lesho. Me nama ale ania u maru ute I ini I inana ana ana ma auto. Emo shoda elahina savasomase siato. And if you have forgotten that you are loved and held and supported and guided, allow yourself to remember now. Na ina se iana ma aleko. Vashano savashinite iana imalo paishana. Savasonatavila ma anonoa. Each and every one of you are a mother and a father to each other. Miaso semashe I ina. Ana, a reflection of the Divine Mother and the Divine Father. Nibaso mashua. Reminded that you are the light of source, the dreams. Nya una vishanate. The creations and the creators of beings and worlds and of ideas Na ila samasai I uma. I ina tase se mashote. All born of love. Of love. Nimora abiata ilaki sevaso se mishe. Ina ti ita inaviso masha ita. Mihisha siviso male helakomalea nanana kola pese. Mishetia. You are so powerful. You can experience separation and disconnection, alienation, judgment. But you are only loved and loved. Guides and guided. You all carry this great wisdom within you, this knowledge, this information, these codes of light. You are the library of light. Amaola liamo abane. Mesete isa seto. Bashno sebe kialoko. You are light, creating and telling a story. Na eleshono sebe sotoroko. This is your life. What story do you desire to create? Na omatese. From this moment, for every now is now and every now is new. And from that moment, that now, that new. Yahoya, what do you desire? Navoshanate, love, support, guidance, happiness, peace, joy. Nabiatoreshe, wholeness, family. Na orla kashana seva tumala, te tereshona. All this will come to you. Navoshanateva Ilyana, exactly how it needs to for you. Na omala kashana seteria nanoko. Nyawa. Allow your higher minds to show you. Na wakoleana na yatorea sanase. Na eteva sanase. And feel that fire and interest burn within you. The passion to give and serve your highest joy and excitement. Meshatore se intaya seva shmatariya namalakoya naniyasate se sate inaya nana atwako. Meshode se sataya. Each of you are a mirror and a reflection of each other. Devotional fasanasete. O mahila ki savasunote. Accept. Accept the reflection before you and you accept yourself. Accept the messenger. Accept the gift. Accept the guidance. You are so powerful, you may close yourselves off, and you are so powerful, you may open yourselves. To all that you are. You have taken a step now of your first journey. Aanate itavalu ma'inena. Sevashono tevasona telaki oma teveshon. Open your hearts to yourselves. Imashovetiyashana. Bikatore senase. Ni'amate. Open your eyes to your own reflection and see the beauty. Yanokwe avasana savashanate. Ahanakila savashanase ina. Tevasona te leanako. Allow yourselves to love and be loved and to see that love in the eyes of another. Na malako fashanasete inantia.
Sevashona Sevasena Itikia. They truly are the windows to your souls. Ni Amate Vashona Sevaki. Yanushayatu. Miayu Maki. The eyes can never lie. Iwawa Mita Vesuna Savasonaki. Tisha. Niata Isa Sun. They are an open window. Ia Omaka Liashon. Tiato to your heart. Nia Koleshan Sata. Niate. Be in joy, be in peace, be in love, be in harmony. As you gaze into the reflection of another, see your own eyes. Nia Kolakasana. Nia Tasana Soto Ulakishnase. Sivasana. Experience your own heart. Nia Kolakishnase. Nia. Hello, world. Thank you. I love all of you so much. I hope that was received to all of you that needed to hear that. And thank you all for joining us today. I think we'll probably go off the air for now. And would either of you, Jessica, like to say anything? Stefan, before we go off the air, I want to thank both of you for being here today. Just thank you for lending your love and your support and your energy. And Jessica, thank you always for your love and your support, your messages and everything that we share together as friends. I love you very much. And thank you for being a part of my life, and all of you. And Dave and AJ and everyone, all of you, I hope that you'll share with us these gatherings, and all of you out there. I haven't even have a chance to read any of the messages, but thank you all for being there. Hey, Deb, love you. And if you guys, again, if you didn't catch it at the beginning, you can find the link to the Zoom room to join here live with us and participate on my website in the blog for the event announcements on the blog, and for the YouTube to watch it as well, and on languagesoflights.com. And also I have a services page on there if you're interested in having private sessions, one-on-one, or pre-recorded audios, videos, that sort of thing. And as well as if you're here in the area, we're here in Fort Lauderdale, Miami area. So if you're in the area and want to gather and meet and hang out with us and sit in the throne, we're really excited about you guys coming to visit, sit in the throne, share, speak light languages. It's one of the things that we were actually kind of joked about, but we're serious about how many people we can have fun and join us and sit on the throne with us and hang out and be in the hangout with us. So we're really excited about that as well. And any way that we can be of help and service to you, and any ideas that you guys have for these Fridays. And of course, we welcome you to show up in your garb and be fun and free. And
before we go, I would
yes,
like you to stand up.
Oh, geez.
And we can move the camera back a little bit so people can see.
Just a little. Well, okay. Moving it back just a little bit. Okay, guys. And here we are. So here we are, ladies and gentlemen. So, hey, when you're going to do it, you're going to do it up, right? So we want it to be as fun and as authentic as possible. So here we are. So. So you guys can see the altar a little bit behind us, and we've got our staffs, and we've got all kinds of fun relics to show and explore and play show and tell with. So don't be shy, everybody. Come on. If we can do it, so can you. And no, I would have never thought I would be doing this, but I want to thank my higher self, my guys, and Dave for helping me crawl outside of my shell and be more of my authentic self and be free and fun, and to invite all of you and give all of you permission to do the same thing. So we love you. Thank you. I hope you guys will join us. Thanks to all of you in the chat. And anything else?
Nope.
Nope.
Look forward to seeing you next week.
Love you guys. Bye. Okay, I'm ending the broadcast.